What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on today's edition of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. In case you haven't heard, last night ESPN Boxing took place. Saturday Night Fights featuring a main event bout between Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn. And all 12 rounds were decided upon by three judges, and the three judges scored the bout a unanimous decision victory for Jeff Horn. And I got the fight statistics in front of me right now. Jeff Horn landed 92 punches in the fight out of a grand total of 625 punches thrown. Manny Pacquiao landed 182 punches out of 573 punches thrown. Jabs, Manny landed 31% compared to Horn's 10%. Manny threw 193 jabs in the fight, landed 59. Horn landed 197 jabs, or threw 197 jabs, and landed 19. Power punches, Manny Pacquiao threw 380 power punches, landed 123. Horn threw 428 power punches, landed 73. Pacquiao's power punch percentage landing was 32%. Horn's was 17. Those are the punch stats of the fight. So why on God's green earth would Jeff Horn win this fight? This fight has been a number one trending topic on Twitter, on Facebook. I tweeted and posted heavily about the fight, stating my opinion on the integrity of boxing. But rather than go on a tangent, on yet another tangent on the sport of boxing and what I believe is a true shell of itself, I wanted to make this edition of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast a thank you to Manny Pacquiao for what he has done for the sport of boxing, even in boxing's most trying times, such as last night and in other instances throughout Manny's career. Manny Pacquiao, straight out of the Philippines, a fighter that I have always had a ton of respect for, due to the fact that he has fought anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. No terms needed for the fight that he would agree to. He would always agree to any opponent that was put in front of him, regardless of whether or not it was the fight that quote unquote protected him. One thing that rings true today about Manny Pacquiao is he is just as involved in the Philippines now as he was when he was living in the slums of the Philippines. A boxer that is an 8-division world champion, the first and only 8-division world champion. He's won 11 major titles, as well as being the first boxer to win the lineal title in 5 different weight classes. Pacquiao is also the third boxer in history to win major world titles in 3 of the original 8 weight classes of boxing, known as the glamour divisions, flyweight, featherweight, and welterweight. Boxers Writers Association of America, the BWAA, wrote that Manny Pacquiao was the fighter of the decade for the 2000s, and the 3-time Ring Magazine BWAA Fighter of the Year, winning the award in 2006, 2008, and 2009. BoxRec ranks him as the greatest Asian fighter of all time. Pacquiao was long rated the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world by both sporting news and boxing websites, including sites such as ESPN, Sports Illustrated, Sporting Life, Yahoo Sports, About.com, the before-mentioned BoxRec, and The Ring, beginning from his climb to lightweight until his losses in 2012. He is the longest reigning top 10 boxer in the history of the Ring Magazine's pound-for-pound list. In terms of pay-per-view, Pacquiao has generated approximately $19.2 million in pay-per-view buys and $1.2 billion in revenue from his 23 pay-per-view bouts. According to Forbes, he's the second highest paid athlete in the world as of 2015 and 2016. A true legend of the sport, to say the least, and for last night to end in the fashion that it did, where I thought it was a clear 8-4 in terms of rounds won out of the 12 rounds in which Pacquiao and Horn contested. 8-4 easily for Pacquiao. 10-2, I would honestly say as well, in comparison to the ridiculous scorecards that were read last night, 117 to 110 for Jeff Horn. I did not see it that way whatsoever. Let's talk about the resume of Manny Pacquiao. Who did he fight? What were some of the fights that made him a legend in the sport today? Obviously, the first fight that people think of is Floyd Mayweather, but I would say now and forever that Manny's greatest rivalry was not Floyd Mayweather. Might have been the greatest name fight on his resume, but the greatest rivalry in his actual career, in his boxing career, was versus Juan Manuel Marquez. He fought Marquez 4 times. Basically, every time I look at the Juan Manuel Marquez fights, the first fight was a split decision victory it was a split decision draw for Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao. That fight took place in 2004. You look at down the line, they didn't fight again until 2008. That was a split decision win for Manny Pacquiao. And then the next fight in 2011 was a majority decision victory for Manny Pacquiao. Then you had the terrible loss split decision to Timothy Bradley in 2012. And then his next fight in December of that same year was a stunning KO loss to Juan Manuel Marquez. So they had the draws, they had the majority decision, they had the majority, or they had the split decisions. They needed to fight again, according to the sport of boxing, due to the fact that Floyd Mayweather would not fight Manny, and Manny and Floyd could not get made. Boxing put together Juan Manuel Marquez, and it ended in a KO loss. That is how that rivalry ended for Manny Pacquiao. That fight, the fourth fight, should not have even taken place. The first fight was a draw, a fight that most people thought Manny won. The second fight was a split decision, a fight that, the judges thought that Manny Pacquiao won that fight. So definitely, I definitely do not believe that they should have fought 4 times. I think I might have mixed that up there. Yeah, the first fight, split decision draw. The second fight was a majority decision. The third fight was I'm missing one. I'm looking down the list. Maybe I missed one writing down. The split decision win. Split decision win, draw, split decision win. I mean, realistically, I can't stand the fact that these guys fought 4 times. I can't stand the fact that this fight ended in a KO loss for Manny Pacquiao. But I would say that is his greatest rival in his career. Fighting on all comers. Timothy Bradley, a unanimous decision victory after he had defeated Brandon Rios. Chris Algieri, a unanimous decision victory. He lost the unanimous decision to Floyd Mayweather, obviously. Fought Tim Bradley again in a trilogy fight, beating him in unanimous decision fashion. And Jesse Vargas in November of 2016, beating him by unanimous decision. A pro record of 59 wins, 7 losses in 68 fights. He lost 4 of those 7 fights by decision. And realistically, the only loss that I really feel that he had on his record was the loss to Floyd Mayweather Jr. I hate to say it, but that was a true loss by Pacquiao. You can say what you want about the collarbone injury, but that was a fight that most people thought that he lost. Eric Morales, back in the day, that was in 2005. That was a unanimous decision loss as well. He avenged that loss to Morales. So there's a running theme going on here where we're seeing him fight fighters again after decisions that did not go his way. Way back in 1999, he fought Megjon Sigurdsson, a TKO loss in the 3rd round. But regardless, whatever you want to say, whether or not Manny has gone 49-0 or 59-7, regardless, he fought every fighter that boxing put in front of him with no terms, no limitations, no rule sets, no glove agreements, no neutral sites, no favorited sites. He fought anyone, anytime, any place, anywhere. And if this is the end for Manny Pacquiao, I would hate to see his career end this way in a fight with high controversy, in a fight where I definitely thought he won the fight versus Jeff Horn. Easily, in my estimation, Manny Pacquiao is the best boxer of his generation, and yes, that includes Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm Ryan Thomas. That was the Thomas Take. My take on the career of Manny Pacquiao. A devastating, ridiculous decision last night that definitely put another skid mark on the underpants of boxing. Take care.